11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Captain, a vessel approaching.
On screen.
We're being hailed.
Every weekend over at gearwebsites.com, our online store, we have free Patch Friday. And that means that every order placed on our store on Fridays is going to include at least one free patch. So that's every order with no coupons, no minimum order, no codes needed. You place the order on Friday, and when it arrives to you, it's going to have at least one free patch. Your support means a lot to us, and financial support is critical. So thanks again to the people who keep us online through purchases at gearwebsites.com. Got it already. All right, I'll give them some feedback on the audio if you would. Welcome everybody joining us tonight. Going live on a special edition of the Daily Gun Show podcast to talk about SHOT Show. What do you know? SHOT Show's coming up, and got the little co-host all ready to go. He's been fed, he's gone out, he's made a bunch of noises, he's farted and whatever, made some stinks, and I think he'll be going to sleep here in a little bit. We'll switch out the logo. How did this get flipped over? All right, and let's get into it. So over here on the internet, we've been posting some stuff about, SHOT Show, and we've got a bunch of Patreons, channel members, folks that follow what we've got going on over here, and they've given us some suggestions on things to check out. And I'm looking at the wrong one. Some things to check out, and we followed through on that. I want to thank our Patreons. There's a scroll at the bottom of the screen that thanks those folks who subscribe to what we do. They give us the time to work on projects like this. Got too many monitors over here. I got stuff all over the place. So I think I got it all figured out now. Everything kind of mirrors once you're looking at monitors here. So we put the puppy down on the bottom there. We want to say thanks again to the Patreons. There's a little scroll at the bottom here with the Patreon link. And those are the folks that make it possible for us to spend some time on this, and the ones that gave us all the ideas for what to chat about tonight. So if you've grown to SHOT Show this year and you want to join in and chat about some of these things, let's do it. We got about an hour and a half, hour and 90 minutes, something like that. About 90 minutes to chat before Gizzard Gary goes live. We can bring that over here. Gizzard Gary starts his season 6 of Foul Territory this evening, so we'll jam this in before he can get started and be the warm-up show for him tonight. All right, so SHOT Show being held again at the Venetian Expo Center in Vegas. This will be its 14th year in that location. According to SHOT Show stats that they put out, 2,500 people on the floor. Oh, you know what I could do? I just thought of something. 2,500 people on the floor. Where is this link? 2,500 exhibitors. There's going to be way more people than that. Okay. Anyway, so I guess I probably shouldn't read stuff while I'm live. So thanks for everybody joining us live. We do these things live because it's a lot of fun. I was just reading your post over there. Thanks for posting and getting all distracted over there. But anyway, I was just posting a link if anybody wants to jump in over there. I don't know how many people will be on the floor. Maybe they'll tell us here in a second. But we'll be exploring a wide variety of new products at the show. This is a snapshot of the show for what it's worth. I guess I can't do that. This is what SHOT Show looks like. Here we go. Essentially, everybody's got guns. Most everybody's got assault rifles. Some people only carry around pistols because they have one in each hand, right? And then there's a lot of booths with even more guns, and there's booths as far as the eye can see. It's very, very accurate depiction of SHOT Show right there. All right, so we'll be taking a look at some guns and stuff, and then some of the other things. Now, if you go over to Clover's section of SHOT Show, it looks more like this. A bunch of yeehaw and lever actions and stuff. Again, everybody's got a gun. So some of the stuff I've seen, let's see, this Max Tech NFR, not from Russia, ammo, 7.62 by 39. This, anybody looking at this Viper Tac Bat 22 LR? Pretty neat looking. We've got this folding takedown stock it's a stock for the takedown 1022. I don't know if people have seen this one. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at this. Come on. Let's see. We got the Riley Defense Crank. Different reviews on it. How's the audio, by the way? Is the audio doing all right? Do I have to check it? Different reviews on that one. Has anybody checked out this Canadian SKX? If Bob was here, he'd be talking about that. It's an AR-looking chassis for the SKS. Let's see. We got the LeMay Universal AR-15 bullpup conversion, but I don't know what that looks like. So if anybody knows anything about that, let me know. The SIG Cross Magnum, some kind of rifle, I believe. There's Snob joining us. Welcome.
Yo.
Have you heard about any of these things yet?
No.
Let me get air volume up here. I have my volume way low. And then I've got some pictures here. So this takedown stock thing it's from BTM, is for a 10, or it's from Samson, but it's for a 1022. So that's a 1022 in there, right? Oh, let me pull it up a little bit. So it's going to make it look like an A-Team Mini 14.
That's actually pretty cool looking.
Right? I feel like that is going to be necessary thing for a lot of people out there. This thing might be right up your alley. Do you know what a tac bat is?
No.
I don't even have pictures of it. I think it's something like a fishing pole or something that can also be like a hiking stick. It's like a multi-purpose little thing. Wait, I don't think it's this. Oh, maybe it is this. Okay, I have a totally different idea what it is then. Viper Tac Bat. All right, let's find out what this is. You haven't heard of this one, I'm guessing, then?
No.
So this is the gun cane has been around for a long time. This thing is a 22 LR, takes a different hide in plain sight approach.
It's kind of cool. I assume it's an AOW, though.
Well, I don't know. Diligently over the past, you bring a fart. Survival tool, easy to carry, easy to store. From looking at it, I thought it was like a fishing pole or something. Oh, I see. So it's going to shoot something out. Is this the price? I don't know what's going on. So worked diligently over the last 2 years to bring to market a tool that's easy to carry. This new tool will aid and enhance daily lifestyles. Come on. Having demand for a less discreet personal tool, myriad of options. Oh, come on. They didn't even tell us in the whole paragraph what it is. Presumably produced one of these about the right size as a billy club with a spike at the end. If you're interested in what? So it's a, if what I'm understanding
Oh, it's
is
22 long
this is,
rifle.
no, this looks like it's the thing like what you put down cows with. What do you call that? That thing that just puts out a
Oh,
cylinder.
the air gun thing that shoves it,
You know what I mean? Like, oh
shoves the little
man,
thing in the head.
what do they call that? There's a name, but they used in that one movie. I think everybody
No
knows
Country
what.
for Old Men thing.
Yeah, like right? Isn't this some sort of thing where there's just a spike at
That's
the end
what
of a
it looks
baseball
like.
bat, and if you push a button, it just shoots a spike? Like not shoots it, but like pushes. See, there's like a cap here, so it's just gonna push it out into. Oh man, that's interesting. So I don't know what's up with that, but evidently
Why do they
that's a
keep calling
thing.
it a 22 long rifle though?
It features an. It also features an 8-inch 22 long rifle barrel. Oh, maybe you're supposed to unscrew that thing. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it. Maybe you unscrew that thing and then there's a 22 long rifle in there. But then it's definitely an AOW, right?
No, well, if you look
Hmm.
at that picture right there, it looks like the bullet and the casing is separate, if that's what that is, and it points toward the handle.
Oh, like this is the.
If
Oh,
that's
it
what that
does
is,
shoot
if
out.
that's the
Oh,
casing.
so you're holding it like this and it's pointed at you? What? It is. Oh my goodness. I
This was
thought it was
cooler
going
before
this
I
way.
realized that.
I don't get it. So, see? Nobody else is going to be talking about this thing. And then there's this thing, the SK-X. Oh man, am I going to find it? I'm going to have to go find it. Oh, no. Yeah. So it's this thing. Have you seen this? Is this new?
Yes, I haven't seen it. SKS.
So you drop an SKS into it, and then it
Yes.
gives you an AR kind of lower, sort of.
Hmm.
So I guess that's one's from Fab Defense, but this one is different, and it'll be. This probably isn't it. This probably just found SKS chassis. So because it doesn't quite look like this, kind of look. It has like a thing that comes over the top. Oh no, this is probably it because I think Pierce Armory is the one that invented it. So this is some version of it, but essentially it kind of, yeah, it looks kind of like this from what I've seen. But I've only seen pictures from the place that invented it in Canada, not the place that's making it in the United States. Oops, I shouldn't have clicked on that. But that was a thing called the SKX. And then have you heard of LeMay Universal AR-15 Bullpup Conversion Kit?
No.
It's from Air Force Arms, but I can't get much information about them. You probably know about these more. Sig Sauer or
I've
Sig
seen that,
Cross
yeah.
Magnum. What is this?
I think it's just a cross rifle and magnum calibers.
Oh, it's a rifle? Okay.
Yeah, it's just a bolt action.
And so again, these are requests and suggestions from Patreons and channel members. So thanks for everybody for being part of this. So a Caltech Sub 2000 Gen 3. I don't know what's the Gen. Oh, this Sub 2000 folds now, right? It pivots or something as it folds. Is that the new thing, or is that?
I don't know.
I saw something where you could have an optic on it, and then as it cams, or as it folds, it kind of cams over, and it lays sideways to the top instead of just opening like a hinge. Then the loophole something or another, something and whatnot. So I guess I'll be taking a look at that. I don't know, there's something probably super impressive and fancy about this one. I don't know what it is. Have you seen this Raw Seat Brawler?
I've been so busy, I haven't paid much attention to any new guns coming out for shot yet.
Oh, good. Then this will help you out since you're on your way still. So this is the Brawler. Sort of like a little. I think
Like
of it
Thompson Center almost.
That's what I was going to say. Like a little Center or whatever those were, the other ones. And a little maybe more crude. I know that a couple other companies make sort of like crude Thompson's or Center fires. Or it's not Thompson. It is.
Yeah, I don't think
Thompson
Center's a
Center.
different brand, but yeah.
I always want to say Thompson centerfire, and like just reflex or something. But anyway, I think that might be neat. I think the retail's like, I'm not allowed to talk about it, but less than 1,000 cups of coffee probably. And then you probably never heard anyone probably even mention this company before,
No, I
or
never
this
heard of
gun before, or some gun, can't pronounce it. Then there's the something or another Dragoon 9mm mini suppressor. You know about this one? I guess it's a small suppressor in 7.62. So I guess I don't know what it is either. The Skilly Gear Ghost Pack. I think I seen this one on one of the new product listings. And this is essentially like a hunting backpack or a sniper backpack. Oh, I don't know if they're going to show it. It's too new. It's one of those backpacks where there's like a rifle case, like right next to your spine, and then all the rest of the backpack's on the outside. At least that's what it looks like. Then there's a live stream pro camera. That's what I've been looking at. You got a bunch of game cams. Do you have any game cameras?
I do, but they're not the ones that have the card in them. They're just the ones you have to go pull it off of manually.
Oh, you got older ones or cheaper ones or what?
Yeah, they're cheaper ones. Well, they're Amazon buying ones, of course. So they're cheap.
Oh, so they're not that old. So they're just inexpensive so that they don't have a card. Because I got one that was, I think, a $40 one or something. So it wasn't super expensive because I'm cheap. But it does have a card.
But, I mean, this has like an SD card, but it doesn't have like the SIM card for a phone service where they send it to your phone automatically.
Oh, no, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it has an SD card. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's what I'm used to is ones that have an SD card, and you essentially put them out, you go out there, and it seems pretty smart. Like it only turns on when there's something in front of it or whatever. And I have it set to like 3 minutes, so I'm essentially wasting a bunch of time. But yeah, I like the whole idea of having them on a, what do you call it, on a Wi-Fi, because I think they'd be the best security cameras for the house, right? Like they're not they're not set up to some system. Well, I don't know actually. Maybe they are set up to some system. But anyway, I've never looked at those at SHOT Show before. I've seen these and somebody mentioned them, so they're in there. This Taurus Toro, probably Gizzards talked your ear off about this one. You know this one?
No, I assume it's the optics ready Judge, since it's a Toro and it's a Judge.
So Toro is Taurus optics ready option. Is that what they have made other Toros before?
Yeah, they have some. They had last year. They had a 38 or something that was a Toro that they introduced.
Oh, okay. Of course,
and then their automatics are also called Toros. No, that one's not a Toro. Let's just get it.
It probably looks just like this, though.
I think they're actually.
I don't know what happened to that.
A pistol optic.
Then there's the Taurus 917C. Of course, I have no idea what
Never heard of it. Gizzard probably already has one. But Gizzard's not 2A enough to join in on this chat. He's too busy.
He's busy prepping for his
taking
show.
a nap for his. Well, he's probably got to take his afternoon
Getting
nap.
His hair done, prepping the green room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of the more elaborate green rooms. People don't ever talk about it. He asks people not
Well, he's
to
got to put cookies out and all that.
And he makes each one. He frosts each one. I've seen him. He sits around the table frosting each one of them things. So I guess it's just some kind of Taurus.
Beretta-ish gun.
I think I remember hearing something like faithful reproduction of the Beretta. What do you know? A Bond Arms lever action rifle. I think that one already had started to come out, or it was they showed it before, but now they're saying it'll be coming out.
Yeah, I think they had it last year, SHOT.
Let's see. So this is the thing that looks like. Well, it's a 223. I kind of like this one. There's another one that looks like an AR, and then there's the one that looks like there's a 9mm. So
yeah, I was not impressed with the 9mm last year. It was real clanky feeling.
Well, just to me, if I'm going to carry around something with two hands, you're not convincing me to carry around 9mm with two hands. That's what 9mm is for, one hand, right? So if in two hands, I want a real caliber, So this seems more like it, but I don't know about that. Did you pick this up and fiddle with it? How's that?
No,
Throw
and that
seems
left looks really
crazy.
strange.
Yeah, just because you can do something doesn't mean it works. And you've shot the lever action shotguns from Terminator, whatever that thing is called. That thing will break your wrist off if you don't know it's coming. Like I've seen so many people, I'd have to warn them at the shop, and they'd be like, "Tell me how to work a lever action." Then they go, "Oh," because it like torques your wrist if you're not thinking it. You think it's going to torque up here, and it's a big long throw like this. Just makes no sense. Now, if it was a little circular thing, you put your thumb in there and just like hork it down. But I don't know. Maybe a lot of times you look at something that makes no sense.
I just don't like the shape of
that.
that.
It makes
So
sense.
strange looking.
But I like the concept a lot. So I don't care about the skeletonized stuff or like the Magpul. Maybe it's because they're trying to adapt to that Magpul stock. Or is that a Magpul stock?
Yeah, I think it's a Magpul.
It might be a Magpul shotgun stock. I just like the idea of a lever action 223 that uses AR mags. That
box red is neat.
The Zenith ZF56. I think this is an MP5.
I would imagine being Zenith.
Or some kind of roller delayed.
Okay.
Some kind of roller delayed gun. I don't know what it is, but people ask for stuff. I'm hoping. I don't know. I haven't talked to Pink yet. I need to talk to Pink to find out if he's going, because he usually takes care of taking pictures of a lot of these guns that I can't keep track of. You know, I have a certain amount of brain capacity, and guns, the ones I like, I have in there, but the other ones, there's just like this really narrow shelf, so some of it stays on there and a lot of it falls off.
So you haven't talked to Pink to see if he's coming?
No, I've seen him a couple of times here and there, but I haven't talked to him yet.
Okay.
I want to talk to Smeggy too. I don't know if Smeggy might go. So Zane is saying that lever gun looks so goofy. He loves it. That's what's out there. Afternoon. My little animal is sleeping because he was busy. he was napping earlier, and then he ate. And then, of course, he went outside, and that tuckered him out. So he never slept. Let's see, the Swamp Fox Tactical Warhorse.
I have one of the new Warhorse scopes they sent me, and I think this is going to be the other deviations of it.
What is it?
It's an LPVO.
Optic. It's an optic?
Yeah, it's an LPVO. I have the 1 to 6, but they're supposed to be coming out with a 1 to 8 and 1 to 10. I figured that's what they were releasing.
Okay. I don't have numbers. I just, maybe whatever I got, that's what I got. So then we got the 3 Glocks. There's the 49, which is the, I think that it's making the MOS, so that makes it the optics ready 49. So that's a G19 frame with a G17 slide, and then it has the RTF texture. And then they made, I think these are both, or in these, it's a 45 and a 10 millimeter, I think. They just made these into Gen 5s now. So, you know, people are going to go, oh, they're not new enough or whatever. And then I guess they have 3 drop-in trigger sets now. I don't know how new that is. Is that super new? Because I've never heard of it. Or
I think I heard somebody say that somewhere, but I didn't know if it was true or anything else about it.
Okay, so then I've seen it. I mean, it was announced, so I just wasn't sure if it was, because I see things that it's announced and it's 3 years old. I just don't pay attention. Defense Dad is out there. Welcome. When's Defense Dad going to shot? I don't think he's anti-shot. Is he one of the anti-shotists?
He's anti-shot, yeah.
Then we got the Brawler. I think I already had that one in here, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, and then there's also the Poly Tuffy Survival. Do you know that one? I don't know if that one's new or not, but somebody was saying something about it. So I was like, what? Because it sounded like a cricket or something. But I think it's just this kind of thing.
Oh, this little single shot. That's actually neater than the other thing.
I don't know what the thumb hole's about. Maybe because it's a 18-inch barrel and they got to put a stock on it. I can't get it to open again. Oh, there it is. So I don't know. I guess I could get it if you're saying, well, this way we can store some ammo on board. But make something in the handguard that you could put 4 rounds or 6 rounds on a handguard.
I wonder if that's just like super cheap is like its thing.
Could be.
I mean, if it was super cheap, it'd be kind of neat, I guess.
At least we know the bullet goes this way out of it. All right, so that's mostly the gun stuff, and then we'll get into some of the knives. This is the booth that Gizzard will be going to, hanging out at the whole time. That's
Oh,
what
that's not
most of
Gizzard there in it? I thought that was Gizzard there with the
a
mask
lot of
on.
that. I got a picture of Gizzard down here at the bottom. This is a picture of She Fires Gizzard, Ghost, and Clover walking around the Chacho with my dog.
Those remind me of the infographics guys.
So let's see. We got a bunch of different knives over there. The Civivi Incisor. I haven't seen that. We were playing with that list of new knives. This one's on there, was it? Is this new or is this an old one?
I don't know. Go down and look and see when it was listed on Amazon.
Yeah, right there, $119.
I'm saying, see when it was listed. It'll show the date it was first listed on Amazon.
How do you know that? Where is that listed?
Scroll down to the where it shows the bestseller rank and all that.
Oh, that section down here. Here we go. Oh, first available, 23, May 23. So I missed it. I don't like this kind of knife typically, though. No. I get them. I was playing with my friends. He let me take some videos of his knives, and he's got something like, I guess this is a karambit, and he's got one, and I was fiddling with it, and I'm like, I feel like I cut myself with it.
I actually bought a little cheap one on Amazon because it was like a number, top 10 or something bestseller in some kind of knives, and I bought it. I sold a bunch of them, but I gave it away, but it was terrible. It wasn't a terrible knife. It was just terrible as in the fact of I was going to cut myself with it if I kept playing with it.
Weston is saying the 3rd gen Keltec looks sweet. It's the rotating handguard if the rotating barrel and stuff works good. Okay, so that is what makes it the 3rd gen. Then I'm down, yeah, because I'm pro Keltec. A lot of people hate Keltec, but I'm down with Keltec very much. So I had one, so now I could get another one technically, but I'm not buying guns. Defense Dad says, I'm not anti-shot. I'm just not a fan of the crowded places. They're too people-y. That sounds like something that Woods would say. Here's the thing. Would you go to SHOT, hang out in the media room, and be, what would you call that? Like, what is that called? Dispatch or something? Or be like central command or headquarters or something? Like, so that people could bring up SD cards and you could start putting stuff up on the cloud for people, or getting the videos.
I was thinking you just have everybody has a little 2-way radio, and he's up there with a big, stationary base 2-way radio, and he just gives directions to everybody. Hey, you got an appointment at XYZ booth, and you need to take 3 lefts and 2 rights, and you'll be there. Yeah.
Like an Overwatch, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Have an Overwatch. I've seen actually the better companies do that. I don't know if you pay attention to that, but the bigger companies do that, or the bigger, I don't know if they're companies, but the bigger groups of people that go, or whatever they are, will do that kind of stuff. Some years it's way more than others, but Zane is saying it's an overpriced gun, but at a discount, it's a great oversized pistol. Yeah, I consider a sub 2000 accessory to your Glocks. So if you've already got Glocks anyway, then having a sub 2000 that fits their magazines just gives you a little bit more distance, I guess, a little bit more energy, potentially. Like a 40 or a 45. Well, they don't make a 45, I guess. Do they?
I don't think so.
So let's keep going. So we've got the Hoffner Warhammer, some kind of interesting looking knife.
That looks rather expensive.
Did you just click on it? $250.
Yeah.
Look how thick that thing looks. So, I'm all about knives. I was kind of playing with knives last year, but I kind of casually ran through them on the last day. I'm going to pay more attention to them this year. And a lot of these are available on Amazon. So this is another one.
That makes it more interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Makes it much more interesting for some of us to check them out. This one is yet another interesting knife that I don't like, but I don't know. Once you pick some of these up, sometimes
I kind of like the look, but I can't get with the holes in the blade.
Oh, see, I don't mind that. So, I opened it twice, I guess. I don't mind that. So, I clicked that one. As much as I don't know. I don't like my knives to be all flashy and stuff. Like, I'm cool with like a more subtle knife. I guess if it was like you're going somewhere fancy, oh man, that thing's huge. No, that's too big for me.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, they could have really tiny hands.
I guess that's true. I was looking at something, I think a helmet or something, and I'm like, they should do a better job of photoshopping because that looks like they put it on a monkey or something. Like this thing's head was so small to this helmet. Like, what did they do? Anyway, maybe it's some kind of fisheye. Let's see, Real Steel Pathfinder. Oh, I don't have a link on that one, so then we'll click on that one. A Zero Tolerance. You a fan of these?
Yeah, they're very nice knives.
$272. My friend has one, and I was playing with it. It's okay, but honestly, I like the Civivis. You know, I mean, if I needed something,
I really do.
super
I
heavy,
mean,
dude.
the Civivis are kind of cheap, but they're actually really nice knives. I really like them.
Oh man,
One of them
yeah,
I've got,
and
I
they're
like.
so well made. Like, you know, sometimes at $70, you expect them to be pretty nice. You know, Spydercos and stuff are pretty nice, but anyway, let's see. Let's put it this way: if I'm forced to go to crowded places, I'm the guy who find a corner to avoid going, you know, whatever. So, but that's the thing. You could hang out in the media room. Essentially, what is it? They call it it is the ground floor, I guess, but the place is on a hill. So, you know, the ground floor for half the building is the basement for the other half of the building, and the upstairs, you know, for that first part is on ground level for the rest of the world. So it's tough to keep track of that part of it. So what everybody calls the basement is technically the first floor, because that's where it used to be just one entrance. That's where the buses and the cars and the taxis and stuff drop people off. So it's like the first floor. But then you go up to the main level, or the first level, and that's what's connected to the new building across the way. So there's like a little ramp or whatever to go across the way to the other building. That's all on that level. The
Pink
media
just
room
texted me back.
Who did?
Pink, he said, yeah, he's going for a couple days.
Oh, right on. Awesome. Thanks. So I'll get with him and we'll figure out what we're doing. But well, he's probably eating fancy the whole time he's there if he's only there for a couple of days. But anyhow, we've got this, you know, this convention center that's got like 6 floors, I think, 5 floors at least, and the media room is like on the third or fourth floor, depending on how you want to look at it. Essentially, though, it doesn't matter. It's up in the air, where you could, I guess technically you'd have to go past a few people, but you could go past fewer people than if you went to a movie theater to get to the media room, almost always now, because you just have to get into the place, so that you just have to get in far enough to get to the elevators and stuff that go up, which you can get to from the top floors, you know. So anyhow, you can get to media room fairly, what's the word, you know, without crowds. The media room,
Yeah, because you can go across the very top floors. You come out of like the casino area and stay away from it.
Say, yeah. And now you have to go up a little bit, but you're barely going to talk to anybody doing that. But that being said, nobody's forcing you to go. Weston is saying, at SHOT Show, do you use a locator app, like some other app or something where everyone is? Oh, you mean like an actual locator map between ourselves to figure out? I don't know. Do you guys do that?
No, we just usually text and, you know, say 1020 and everybody will respond where they're at.
I mean, it's very, very large. And I just explained, there's like multiple floors, and it's not like a couple of floors. There's like at least 3 floors, 3 floors of show for sure. And then 4 floors if you count, because they moved the media room onto another floor now. So we could each be on a different floor, 4 different floors. But then there's 2 different buildings. And then there's, I don't even start counting how many rooms, 9 rooms of just the law enforcement stuff. For whatever reason, well, I guess it's because for smaller events, they can rent out like just little small pieces of the convention center. And since SHOT Show uses the entire thing, they just kind of open all the walls that can kind of be open and closed. And it creates this 9-room situation where they put the law enforcement stuff. So anyhow, it's just, it's so huge that I can't even imagine. Maybe like a husband and wife, but even then, I don't think husbands and wives tend to stay next to each other the whole time. It's just such a large show and there's so much to do that unless you're tagging along with someone and you have no interest in being there, And even then, you wouldn't even want to walk around, right? If you had no interest in being there, you'd be like, I'll meet you in the hallway. I'll just go sit in the hallway until you're done, right? You're not going to see too many people just walking as a group. Anyway, and you're not going to see too many meetups that are scheduled because it's just chaotic. So there are impromptu, like, oh crap, or like, hey, we're going to go meet and smoke. That used to happen a lot. I don't know. You never smoked, huh? But, depending on who goes and who's smoking at the time. The smoking areas can be sort of a place. The media room can be a place. The media room used to give us food, like at certain times, so we'd go up there to feed. But that's more sporadic now, or less even happening anymore. So most of the
I don't
time,
know.
People catch up too much. They catch up after the show, really.
I don't know if the Live 360 or anything would work inside the building, anyways, because
It's too many traffic.
It's a big building. I don't think the GPS will work in there.
It's so crazy how there's so many people in there, and think about how much electronics is happening, and pretty much everything just works. It's crazy how many phones are in there doing whatever. And that's just one event, right? In one town at the time. Defense Dad's saying, picky about knives, pretty much like drop point blades that aren't flashy. Oh, I hear you. But, we're just there to look at the stuff that's available and what's new and what people have asked about.
So is Ned Foss going to be at SHOT, I guess? I hadn't even looked to see if they were there.
Yeah. Have you heard of them?
They'd sent me an email, but then they never replied back about the Amazon stuff.
Yeah, same thing. Jerks. So, yeah, because I definitely like their stuff. Their stuff is pretty interesting.
So they make some pretty nice hatchets.
Yeah, exactly, right? And that's what maybe that's because we did the same thing then. I was like, oh, yeah, you want a knife? I'm like, yeah, I'll take a hatchet, thanks.
That's pretty much what I said.
Yeah, because the thing is, I think what happened with Civivi too is they're like, thanks, and then I was like, hey, can you send me this? And they're like, no, because that's not even in production anymore, or they didn't say that, but I'm thinking that's what happened, is they'd rather send you stuff that's about to come out instead of the stuff that they don't make anymore. So I don't know. That I don't know. An escape room, I think I don't know. Do they probably have like escape doors and you can run out of some stairway out the back way? But actually,
the secret way from the dungeon to the Caesars, that's kind of an escape room when you're back in that corner and take the little secret way that nobody knows about.
I only really started doing that this last year, I think. I think I've heard about it maybe 2 years ago and I never bothered. And then this year I was like, hey, what? I've never done that. I'm going to go up there. I didn't like it. It was too cold.
It's way faster than going all the way back through the show to go up and go over to Caesars.
Oh, yeah. And if I smoked, I would be doing it all the time because it's perfect for like you light a cigarette, you walk out there, and by the time you walk all the way back around, you're done smoking a cigarette probably. Or you could mosey, I guess. Now, the outside events or even trade shows don't bother me as much. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you could understand most of SHOT Show. No, actually, no. Some of SHOT Show, about half of it is claustrophobic-ish. I could understand it because there's a ceiling. But the new building, you don't feel the ceiling. It's way up there. And other skylights, I can't remember. But it's certainly lit up. You don't notice the ceiling in that building.
I mean, if I was really claustrophobic and didn't like people but really wanted to go to SHOT, I'd just schedule myself to go Thursday and Friday. Because by midday on Thursday and all day Friday, it's usually pretty thinned out by then. Compared.
That's a good point. Because most people that are only going for 2 days go the other 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got links out there. If you want to grab stuff off Amazon, go ahead and click on them links. I'm just saying. It doesn't hurt nobody to click on them links. So let's see what else we got. The Rock Tackle is the last of the knives that we'll be taking a look at. And I don't know. It's kind of interesting again. Half the time you look at knives and you're like, huh, like somebody likes this, huh? I guess. And maybe when I was a kid, I would have really liked this one, I think. Because I like
fire starter in the sheath.
Yeah, and I was always about like making my knife into a spear for some reason. Like, oh, you know what I'd like to do? Pay a bunch of money for a knife and then throw it on a stick at something. Like lose it. But nowadays, I don't know if I want, it's great. The stick's going to get in there or something. Like, what do you want those holes in there for? Maybe I'm missing something though. But $79, it's really not that bad, all things considered. But anyway, that one is the last of the knives we'll be looking at. Then there's a description of all those things. I'll get into about this air hand pump or whatever, and I figured it was for bicycle tires or for volleyballs or something, and it turns out it's for air guns. It's like a 400 or 4500 psi hand pump. It looks like a bicycle pump, but it's whatever. So looking through the SHOT Show stuff, I was like, oh, look at that, it's for an air gun. So I'm gonna go check those out and see what the deal is.
I mean, you could probably pump up your bicycle tire to 4,500 psi. It'd be interesting, but
How much is a bicycle tire normally? Like 80?
I don't know, 10, 20. Seems like 4,500 would be fun.
I figured it's just fast, like, oh, I want to pump up that bed fast, like pump, and it's open or it's full.
Your
Like
bed
if you have
explodes.
one of those, you go to the lake. If you have one of those things for the lake where you're dragging it behind a boat, those things are huge. So I figured it was like that. I got it cheap, so I bought it. Now I know what it is. So this thing was pretty neat. Compass. Every once in a while, I go there looking at camping stuff. They don't really have a ton of it, but the thing is, I haven't gone camping in such a long time. You go camping more often. Do you carry this kind of stuff when you go?
Not really.
Basics?
I mean, I have like a survival compass in my car, kind of.
But I'm pretty sure this one said made in the USA, and 500 bought in the last month. Just saying, $37.
Rather interesting.
Yeah, just saying. I like the idea. Everybody likes that compass. There's this heater place that's on Amazon that has $167 heaters. I'm going to be checking that out.
Now, those would be interesting to me just for work. I never think.
Oh yeah,
about
and they had a
like
ton of them, like models. I mean, essentially they're ripping off Mr. Heater, or what's that red company? It's a Mr. Heater.
Yeah, Buddy Heater, whatever they are. I think
Mr. Buddy, yeah, Buddy Heaters or whatever they are. Yeah, which are nice. I mean, those I use one of the. I don't have one on right now because I'm using electric. But whenever I'm in the van, I've got one of those. Whenever I'm going hunting or camping, which hasn't been for a long time, I like those for keeping a tent warm or whatever.
I use those at work quite a bit because most of the houses I work on don't have electric or heat.
Oh
or
yeah,
anything,
exactly.
So.
And yeah, actually though, before that, I had probably whatever they sold at like the hardware store, which I don't even know had a brand. You just screwed on top of a propane tank. But then I got a Mr. Buddy or whatever one time when we were elk hunting, and I was like, I don't need no heater. And then we went elk hunting, and everything was freezing, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to town to buy a heater. And it was just the one they had, and it turns out you can cook coffee and stuff on it. So I've kept it ever since. I'm like, oh, this thing's excellent. It's like a cube, and you can flip it one way and it's a heater, and you flip it the other way and it can make coffee on it. So for like a tent or whatever, when it's freezing out, you just turn it on, you leave it go for a bit so you can sit up and then make coffee and then keep going. Anyhow, some kind of watch, just some watch. If you guys are interested and want to buy a watch, there's a nice watch you could buy, $450. But I figured, I don't
after
get that.
SHOT Show, G will have a video on Amazon on that watch.
Man, that's why I listed these things. Then some kind of face paint, same kind of thing. Face paint, watch, $500 watch, $11 thing of face paint, whatever.
Something for everybody, no matter your budget.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing with food stuff. Some different food stuff that'll be at SHOT. Some of this is from the new product list. Some of this stuff, I don't know if this stuff. There was a couple of things in here that were recommended from Patreons. And it's hard to know. Some people are Patreons and channel members. Some people, nobody from YouTube was in it, so it's mostly Patreons, I guess. But anyway, and I saw this dog food. I thought the dog food might be interesting. I don't remember seeing dog food at SHOT Show or not before, but I'm wondering if they'll give me samples, and then I could feed my dogs with samples.
That's something that Amazon, doing this Amazon thing, is going to change for my SHOT Show this year, is just the stuff I looked at, because I never paid attention to a lot of some of that other stuff, even though it interests me. It's just I never thought about it, and now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Walking right past it, or like we'll get into a whole different discussion, but for sure. Some different binoculars and stuff. I haven't even really listed out the optics. I had to draw a line on how much time I'm going to spend on this. I do appreciate the time I can spend on stuff like this. Happy to do it, but I had to draw a line. So optics got cut. There's probably a ton of optics, but on the other hand, you guys go look at scopes and stuff way more than me, and probably look at flashlights and stuff way more than me too. I don't know if those are really optics, but I didn't really include flashlights in here. But I do have some interest in getting some better binoculars. I've had binoculars over the years, and I'm wondering if there's anything new, if they're lighter, if they're just clearer, or maybe I don't think they can make them any better other than being very clear. Some other stuff though. This very cool Otis Technology range box. I may or may not. I do have one of these, so we may or may not be giving this thing away this year. It's a $215 range box. I'll be taking a look at that at SHOT Show for sure, though. What is this thing? Another one of these backpacks for hunting. Some different. Have you seen these headrest things? I've seen them before, but I want if they have them at SHOT Show.
Yeah, they were at NRA show or somewhere it was. I saw them out. I didn't pay much attention to them.
There we go. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if I've ever been in the room with them before because I've always been like $400, but now I want to go look at them because they're $400, and I'm like, what's the deal? Plus, the other thing is, do you want a piece of metal behind your heads, or is it like a piece?
That's
of
what I was going to, because your headrest is technically part of the safety devices in your vehicle,
right?
And plus,
and I drove.
Go ahead.
I was saying, one time when we were renting, for a while I had a smashed up truck. So before I bought my cop car, I would rent every year. It's one of the reasons I bought the cop car. Same as Clover. Like, just cheaper just buy a used car than it was to keep renting every year to go to SHOT Show. So we were renting, and I rented an old, some kind of Impala. It had to be like a 7 or 9 or something. I don't remember what year this was. So it's probably like a 9 or 11 Impala. And I think it was, or something like that. There's some kind of big 4-door car, so we had enough room for enough people and all this luggage and stuff. But the headrest was horrible. Like, it was, literally like, it was like a torture thing. And it really sucked because of, driving all the way up there for 8 hours with this, like, my head in a weird position. It was constantly bugging me. I just hated it. And that's what, if you buy this thing for kind of pricey and then it does that would be annoying. But
then you got to buy this.
Crazy. Maybe it's like a concave shape, and maybe it's safer, or maybe I don't know.
Well, then you still got to have a second one so it matches, and then it still doesn't match your seats if you care about that. I'm not going to put that in my new truck and not match my seats or not,
Well, that's the thing too. And then, all seats aren't the same form factor down here, are they?
I don't know.
But it does have 6 videos, or only 3 good videos though. So I'm just saying, maybe see a video on that. Let's see, a couple of other lockers and things. I pretty much ignored them, but now with the whole Amazon thing, I figure I might as well look at some of these. What do they call them? Quick access type of safes with the biometrics and whatnot. I see Alan Anchor is out there. Welcome. Tried to get Alan Anchor to go. Still could work something out. Weston's saying they look pretty good, but not necessarily $400. And like you're saying, unless they sell you, unless part of the package is like a dummy one that goes on the other one, which for that money, it seems like, I don't know what they cost, but it seems like that would make it a lot easier on people, right? Like you say, you don't want weird looking one on one side. It's like, here's the criminal. What's going on here? Like, nice car, everything's nice, everything's nothing's out of place except for, boom, boom, boom. Got this hollow metal seat cushion thing or whatever.
Headrest full of your gold rings.
Out front of the trailhead or the beach or wherever, like where people are going to be storing stuff like that too. But anyway, hearing protection. I bought my Howard lights a long time ago. I haven't really put too much effort into it other than, I think it was last year or maybe the year before, but I think it was last year at Media Day. They were handing out those Sordins with, I think it was Sordins with the radios in them. Did you see that? Like right when you walked into Media Day at the main entrance? And it was like, at first I thought they were free. So I got in line and then was like, hell yeah, I'm getting a pair of free Sordins with a little microphone thing on it, right? Look like a pilot or whatever. Well, dudes at least bossing around the airplanes at least. because that's what it kind of looked like. The dudes that are on the
Mm-hmm.
tarmac or whatever telling airplanes where to go. So it turns out you had to give them your driver's license or maybe something, and then they had to give it back. So it's I don't know, driver goofy ear lice things around. You have to give them back. But anyway, so they were giving them to like groups of people though. So at range day, you'd have these. What are they? They're not that expensive. They're a pretty good bargain if you want to buy them off of this Amazon link. I'd recommend doing it. It's a great price. These are $300 ones. The ones they had were probably more like the $700 ones, though. Like the really fancy ones.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I guess I could see that. That would be kind of neat to be able to experience them if you've never worn them. I've had the ability to be at places where people's spares were swordens, so they let me use swordens for a while. And they're much different. They're definitely, it's like looking through good glass. It's hard to tell people, that good glass is different than cheap glass. When you're looking through an optic, people don't really think about your pro. You go, it's a $30 one versus a $300 one. How different can they be? But anyway, so I think
Wizard woke up from his nap.
Well, this guy's pre-show stuff going on. Driving all around. He probably has to, cuts it pretty close getting in from the helicopter landing pad.
Mm-hmm.
Which side we got? Oh, we got an hour. He's got a link over there. There's a link over in the place with the thing. He knows about that place. He's got the keys. Anyway, so I haven't really paid attention to hearing protection in quite a while. So I'm thinking I might try doing that. How much effort have you put into hearing protection over the years?
Not that much. I don't know. Somehow I've just had some fall in my lap at shot, basically. Some pretty nice ones, and I just use them.
Yeah, I've walked right past them. I've used Howard's lights for so long that I just don't care about the other ones because I just haven't paid any attention to them. So I don't know where they are. I'm gonna have to find them if they're out there.
I've always just used my walkers just because they were pretty cheap for electronics, but then I got the axles given to me, so I was like, yeah, they're pretty nice. I'll use them.
I didn't have axles on here. Should I put that on here too?
Probably.
Okay. I'm trying to. Oh crap! I'm trying to, put everything, or try to get a good spectrum or whatever. Try to get a good list of stuff that's worth checking out. In addition, like if somebody would say, "Hey, can you check out this and that?" I try to find this and that, and then whatever to complete the mix or whatever. Or at least for that hearing protection thing. I guess that's it. And then I had some just longer verbiage here for the blog and stuff about just more words down there. I've been loving the AI, though. Look how good the AI is being. This is essentially just like SHOT Show. This is just like what it's like when you go there. And, I'm not screen sharing anymore. Oh, yeah.
You heard of me.
This is what one of the booths will look like. You just can go in there and take whatever you want, essentially. It's all free. Sometimes they say, hey, would you take a picture of that or something? You don't have to, though. And then, you're just sitting around chatting.
That kind of looks like the media in there.
That's what Ghost looks like when he's walking around SHOT Show. It looks like a Mad Magazine or something, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Or like, I don't know, something like that. That's some kind of thing.
That's pretty funny.
All right, well, so there we go. It's a bunch of stuff from SHOT Show, and I just wanted to, like a lot of people, have some idea what to do at SHOT. So this is the beginnings of my list. I'll probably get with Pink. I know that Gear Report does a lot of pre-show kind of recon and figuring stuff out. When are you a writer at Gear Report?
I have an access thing, but I haven't ever wrote anything.
I'm not sure if he gets everybody together to kind of see who's covering the same stuff or what people might be missing or whatever. But if anybody is out there and wants to be part of that, it's a big show with a lot of people, and it's easy to miss stuff. The worst part is coming home from SHOT and then figuring out what you missed or like what.
No, the worst part is watching G's live streams when he's showing the patches at SHOT and figuring out you missed them, and it's already over and gone, done.
Well, there's a cheat for that. I just don't like going on the place where the cheats are because it's a cheat. It's a lame place to go. But there is a cheat to learn where they're at. And then, of course, you do have to spend some amount of time, going to wherever they're at. It's not like they're just sitting in a big pile and you just walk over and grab them all. But some of it is just being aware, and then the other part is just asking everybody everywhere you go. Hey, you got any patches? Hey, you got any patches? Let's just how you doing? You got any patches? And you eventually, acquire a shit ton of them. I don't know what I'll do this year. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that or not. Snapshot of sheep fires, gizzard, clover, and ghost walking the dog in Vegas last year. Alan Anchor is saying they made a ton of freaking patches, radical patches for SHOT Show this year. A lot of killer designs.
You have my number, Angelina. Just tell me which booth I should go see.
Go up to the show. Yeah, well, that'd be a good idea. Maybe we should talk to the patch creators, the manufacturers, and find out who they sent them to. Actually, I do know from an off-air some patch gossip, but and that's where I found out about the cheat or whatever. Oh, right on. So with that, I guess we're hit at right about an hour. So thanks everybody for joining us, and everybody who joined us live for making part of the show here, giving me some stuff to talk about as we're part of the show. Oh, I guess this was from before. I thought this was about ear pro, but you're talking about that head seat thing. I've seen reviews where they talk about something that heavy behind your head. Yeah, see, that's another thing, picking it up and holding it at the show versus having it in a car. But, I don't know, maybe it's I was going to say, if those things are designed to break off or something in an accident, then that's not really a selling point. You'd want them to be, kind of locked to the seat, right? I guess it's supposed to be hidden in plain sight type of thing, as opposed to the most secure thing you're going to find in the vehicle, or the most secure way to clamp something down. All right, I'm just scrolling through as I'm chatting here to see if if I'm missing anything. If I missed anything, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know if you saw earlier, but I did get my cameraman in.
No, I was kind of reading over there, but I didn't follow through because I realized I was sitting here with dead air reading the thing over there. So, but I'll chat with you here in a second. So, yeah, with that, I'll end it. I was kind of hoping to go longer, but I guess I didn't have that much stuff. It seemed like a lot of stuff. It took me all week to kind of accumulate that list of stuff. I asked everybody around and then kind of poked at it, and then took some time today to finish it out and flush it out or whatever, and then set up the show. And I set it up a couple hours before Gizzard's. I guess I could have set it up, barely an hour before Gizzard, and then ran it right into his show. So there's probably the reloading show happening right now. I know I'm doing this on top of Team House's normal time slot, but I figured they're doing a year in review premiere, so no reason to watch that one live necessarily. But we got a bunch of people watching. It's always frustrating to end the thing when there's a bunch of people out there, but except for Alan Anchor, nobody's saying anything. Alan Anchor, you want a link to jump in and say hey? We talk about SHOT a little bit. I put the offer out there at the beginning of the show also for anybody that wanted to jump in. So thanks to Snob for jumping in, but nobody else even asked. So I guess SHOT Show is scary, and they didn't want to join. So they did have a poll. I did have a poll going. What happened here? Over on the YouTube side, on the main channel on YouTube. I guess this is also over on Twitter. Maybe that's why I got those weird comments earlier. I don't know. But anyway, dang it. What happened to my poll? Where did I get the poll back down? Come on. How do you get the poll back down?
I don't know. It usually just pops up for me.
Like if I don't want it, it'll be there. Come on, really? There we are. So the poll is favorite part about SHOT Show 2024. So we got advocacy, Second Amendment advocacy. We got guns and ammo, kind of the point of the show. We get the other stuff, the outdoor gear, the knives, the packs, the boots, the everything else, the back, all this stuff. And then you got the people, the stories, and the adventures. So what would you pick out of there?
I mean, that's a tough one. I ended up voting guns and ammo just because it's kind of what it is, but I almost voted the people's stories and adventures because that's kind of really my favorite part of it, truthfully.
Yeah, and I can understand with people that don't give a crap, like they don't care about that stuff, but I put it in there because I figured, well, kind of a test the barometer or whatever, like test the interest out there. But have you ever gone to SHOT looking for like knives and other stuff besides guns, though?
I mean, not really. That's the reason I'm kind of excited about this year. I kind of, I've always been a knife guy, so I kind of roam through the knife booths and just kind of see what's cool that I might want to buy myself, kind of deal, but never did anything with it.
And that's the thing, again, it's such a large thing. When you go to your first show and you might like poke around everywhere that interests you, like, oh, I'm interested, like randomly, like a moth or something, or like a hummingbird or whatever it is, like, just kind of hunting and pecking, maybe speaking gizzard speak, just pecking, different booth to booth or whatever. Maybe you have a couple of things you want to do, but you just kind of peck around. I'd say by 3, what are you on, 4 or 5 now?
This will be my 4th. It should have been my 5th, but.
Well, you can't help that. But so I'm saying by about 3rd, you got your bearings, especially now that it never moves anymore. Like, except for booths changing out in the weirdness or whatever, I guess that was a little bit different. But essentially, you kind of get your bearings so you can then decide, here's what I want to do, here's what I want to do. But essentially, until you're there, I don't know, 5 years, maybe, whatever, 4 or 5, kind of depends on the person, I suppose. But until you're there a number of times, it's just too much to absorb to, like, at least, and somebody can prove me wrong if they want, or come at me, as the kids would say. But I think that it would take at least a while before you can start to discriminate. Is that the right word? Of like what you're going to walk past. Or no, you have to discriminate. Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say. It takes a while before you can start to play around a little bit more, because you're either going to have appointments or you're not. But if you don't have appointments, then you're running around to make sure that, like, I need to talk to this person, I need to talk to that, I need to see this, I need to see that. They don't, nothing is next to each other. So you're constantly running around, and any time wasted would essentially, you're concerned that it's wasting an opportunity or a window or whatever. And then you do it a few years and you want to do better at what you tried doing last year, so it takes you a few years, I think, before a person will, have the interest to spread around, at least in my experience. People that are going there with, as media, they're there for a reason, and they're trying to get their craft, they're trying to get their abilities and stuff. So anyway, I don't think people are going to spend too much time. Maybe that first year they'll spend some time looking at knives, but it's, again, just sort of like, oh, can I see that knife? Can I see that knife? It's not like, can I spend 45 minutes taking a video of every knife you got on the, in this, whatever, like, pocket knives or something. And then that last year, though, or, once you get to 5th year or whatever, then I think people might start, as content creators, might start looking around. The thing is, not everyone does. By the time most people get to 5th year, they figure out what they're doing, and they just keep doing that over and over and over for a while. Most, not that many people. I say most, like it's a shit ton of people, but dozen or so people I know that have been doing it for that long.
You know how the Tulsa Gun Show has they figured it up, the math of how much time you can spend per booth if you want to see it all in the 2 days and stuff. But I wonder if anybody's ever done that for SHOT Show.
What, walk the whole thing? I did.
No, I mean, like, do the figures on how much time you can spend at each booth if you want to see every single booth.
Oh, well, I went there one year when we had a bunch of people and I felt like doing it. And I just went in and methodically walked everything. Now, I stopped here and there for a patch or, if I saw somebody and said, hey, or whatever. But for the most part, I just walked the whole thing. And that, I don't remember off the top of my head anymore. This was when it was just Sands. So it was at Sands, but it was just Sands, and it was the normal kind of setup. I didn't go to the upstairs, whatever that thing's called, because they sometimes have things way upstairs now. So I just went in the normal rooms. But I can't remember, but it took me like one day. It only took me one day. And it wasn't even the whole day to walk the entire, to walk the entire show. I've done it since, and it usually takes me a day to do just the upstairs because I'm not hauling ass. But I've done it hauling ass. Anyway, so yeah, you can, but you can't stop for nothing. Like I was doing it because I think I was in shape and I was playing with the, what do they call it, like odometer thing on your phone? Because I was using that to figure out how many steps
the activity thing, yeah.
And after 11 years of going, you're looking for something to do. Like I've done a bunch of things. Oh, you know what I haven't done? Tried to walk the entire show and see how many actual miles it is. Like, because who the hell's actually done that? Like nobody probably. I mean, some people might try to figure it out with using math or something, but unless somebody gets paid by the show to. I don't know what you would do. Like, there's no job at the show where they're like, take an entire day and just walk around. But I could, because I already had people already there and I've done a million other things at SHOT. So I just started doing it that one year.
Well, the first year I went back in 20, I didn't even know those. I guess there's 3 of them. The law enforcement rooms across the main hall.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm kind of talking about.
Sure, the 3 that have mostly like nylon gear and a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah. I completely didn't even know those existed the whole first year. Like the second year was the first time I even learned they were there.
That happens because of the way that the elevators and stuff, and if you don't walk with somebody over there, then it's easy to think those are bathrooms or something, right? Because there's only like 2 little gaps where you can even see there's rooms back there. But Ghost, I don't think even went into the law enforcement rooms the first year. Like I don't think he even went in there. And then somebody was saying they didn't think you were allowed to go in there. Gizzard's joining us. Welcome. It's got 38 minutes, 57 seconds before his show start goes live.
Yeah, I just catching grief for not being here, so I thought I'd better jump in for a minute.
Welcome. So, favorite part about SHOT Show 2024: 2A advocacy, guns and ammo, outdoor gear, knives, packs, etc. The people, the stories, the adventures.
Oh gosh, to me it'd be one of the last 2. I'm all about the knives, you know that, but the people and the stories and the adventures are always. You never know what's gonna happen, what you're gonna see, what other people. Every year's different, so that's always part of it too. So, but not that guns and ammo aren't important. Of course they are. 2A advocacy doesn't seem to be a huge part of SHOT Show. It's there, but it's not up front like some of the other things are.
No, not at all. That's why I cram it in there all the time because, I've said for a long time, though, that we've got the potential for it there, but it's certainly not the focus or the drive or anything like that.
Right.
And this is my chat, so I figured there's at least a potential, or at least a portion of the audience that's going to be focused on that, I think.
I mean, at what we do, what we've been doing for the last few years, it's always going to be in the back of your mind when you go to a show like this is, rights and 2A and stuff like that, because it's what we do. You look for that. And there's some of that there, like I say, but it's, like I say, that's not the focus, so to speak.
I dropped a link to Alan Anchor over there if you want to jump in. Anything, I don't know how long you were watching. It sounds like a lot of the stuff Snob hadn't seen. Any of the stuff that seems interesting that you might want to check out?
Such as, I've only been on the last 20 minutes or so.
Oh, okay. I just went through a bunch of stuff we say that people have asked for or that I found.
See, there's a neat one.
This is an AI picture of you, She Fires, and Clover and Ghost walking the dog. Welcome, my co-host.
I just like the fact that Clover and Ghost are taller than. Oh, and
how come
is taller than Gizzard?
How come She Fires is taller than me? Come on, man. I've met She Fires.
I don't know. Maybe it's perspective. I couldn't get it. I can't. It's a good. I really like it. It's a good AI. I'm digging this one, even though I don't like it. where it comes from, but I like it. It's a good AI. But
I like
for
the
what
amount of
reason,
hair I have in that picture for sure.
he wouldn't give me no ability to change the background out there I want.
That and I got trusted to hold bacon bit, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't know what you did to his tail, but all right, I'll send that
We
out.
won't
a little
talk
fluffy.
about that.
He's like, you used a cat comb on him. We'll get you back.
Probably.
Look how good these came out. I don't know if you were watching. I was super impressed. I just sat there for about half an hour making these things because they're it comes out so good. They limit you though, in how many you can make. But normally you can't make guns on AI. Like AI hates guns, and now they're like, well, at least this one is like, yeah, go for it.
I know
Here's
I
my
heard you
chance.
mentioning Ear Pro earlier, and I usually do stop by Howard Light and visit with them. That's one of the booths. But that being said, I've gotten some new stuff over the last year. I've got a set of Caldwell's ear pods, and I also do have the Axles now. So probably be visiting with them, especially now that I'm an affiliate with Axel.
So when you walk, have you ever walked around in a building like that with Ear Pro? I wonder if they do the job of limiting the background noise, and then well, I guess they just go nuts.
Well, you know, the great thing about those, and I used to at work, I would walk around with AirPods, and not only can you get rid of a lot of the background noise, but if you want to turn down the active hearing protection, you can also amplify the voices around you, which in a big arena like that you wouldn't want to do because it would probably
That's what I was just thinking.
overwhelm your eardrums. But in a person to person conversation, especially somebody like me where your hearing diminishes over time, it
Huh?
actually, huh? It actually helps.
I just don't remember ever seeing that many cowboys at SHOT Shows. That's all
I
I know.
don't either, but
Was there
I
a
didn't
cowboy
go back
room
in
I
the
haven't been to?
1800s like G Webs did. So
This is from the shot. This is the shotgun section.
Oh.
Yeah, an awesome picture. And then I like this
Mhm.
one. This is the most accurate one of Shot Show. Everybody, you just take your assault rifle in, or like I was saying, if you
Oh,
got a
no,
pistol,
but
it's got scopes and stuff on it, and you want to have one in each hand.
see, that's the way NRAM's going to be this coming year down in Dallas. Everybody will have cowboy hats on and stuff like that because that'll be the uniform.
That is kind of what it looks like, though. Just an endless thing of booths, depending on what angle you look at. Have you
Mhm.
guys ever asked to go upstairs anywhere? I'll usually go to whichever one is in a corner, or if I find myself in a corner and there's something with upstairs, especially the upstairs that are just like a kind of a patio or something like that, kind of open.
Mhm.
Or even if they're not, I'll just ask if I can go up the stairs themselves and then I can get a picture like this, or what do they call that, where you start on one side and it patches together a shit ton of
Like
pictures.
a
And then
panoramic.
yeah, panoramic into. I never use it, but I always get one just to.
I've always wanted to go on the catwalks at Wanamaker. I think you
Oh
could
yeah,
get an excellent picture up there if they'd let you up on the catwalks.
for sure. I asked every single time. Somebody never asked, but they probably wouldn't want us. But we did drive a drone around at Shot at Wanamaker that one time. I have essentially like 780 or 720 drone image of like straight down, straight down at people, so I could top at people's heads. And it could have been a crowd anywhere in the world because there's no way to know it was Wanamaker because it's just the top of a bunch of people's heads, and they didn't go that high up in the air. But we
They
tried.
don't hang signs off the ceiling there except for the big sign in the middle.
The Wanamaker, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
It was the air conditioning was messing with the guy. I guess there's turbulence in the room. So when he brought and these are little toy drones. So when he brought it up there, it was just like tossing and turning all over the place, and they don't have any image stabilization. Uh, I, I think it would be awesome though to get like a drone shot from one end of Wanamaker to the other. It'd be freaking awesome. It would be cool at SHOT Show too. I don't know. I don't guess they're not going to do it, but it would be super cool. I like a drone buzzing around at SHOT Show.
Well, like I say at SHOT Show, you got to worry about the signs hanging from the rafters. You have
Yeah,
to
but they
dodge
kind of
them.
have those drones where you put your goggles on and you're like the pilot of the little tiny airplane, so they can see where they're at, and then they can go away. Like they don't have to see the
I
drone.
mean,
Before.
The good thing about SHOT Show is, though, you could literally fly the drone through there and then sneak it out real quick, and no one would ever know who flew it. I mean, there's so many people, there's no way they'd ever find who flew
Didn't
it.
somebody do that one year? One of the booths got permission to fly a drone through there, and they actually posted it on social
I
media.
don't know.
Oh no, there's
Seems
a
like
ton of
awesome.
booths that have them. Like if they're a military supplier and they've got a drone, like there's little. Have you seen the hummingbird drones with FLIR, with thermal in them? They're the size of a bird and they hover, so they look kind of like a dragonfly. That kind of drone. They're not like a quad. They look like a little dragonfly, and they're tiny. You fit in your hand easy, and they got thermal on them, and they don't make that much noise because they're so small. They don't have to make a lot of noise, and or the motor isn't very powerful. And they'll hover them. They're in the main law enforcement room all the time, next to Locksack. That's all I know because I'm friends with Locksack, and so I'm always going back there looking at their booth, and next to them, and plus that's where the robot dog is. You know where the robot dog is? In the big room, not the other robot dog that's in the small rooms. But if you go into the big room where the yellow safe used to be, that big law enforcement room, and if you walk out that room, you're by Mead Ammo. Right by that door where you walk out near Mead Ammo. Mead Ammo is the one from Nebraska, right? No? Yes? But
I don't know. I think so, but I thought Gizzard would answer that.
I'm pretty sure that's because I only met him last year, and I'm pretty sure that's where their booth is, right at the entrance. Anyway,
I
that's
can
where
remember.
there's a drone out flying. It pretty much just flies all day. I mean, it's probably a different drone all the time, but and it's again, it's just a company that sells drones. Now downstairs in the law enforcement rooms, there's a ton of drones. They just don't fly. But I don't know. They used to take. Have you ever seen the drones that are small, like little? They kind of look like a coffee can that rolls around, and they got cameras in them. But they're just kind of like two wheels connected to each other, so they look like a black coffee can with two big lids, and the two lids are wheels. And then the insides, the coffee can part is like a bunch of cameras. Those things, they throw them in. They're super rugged, so they'll just throw them. Like they'll break a window and throw it into someplace, and then drive it around for like a hostage situation or something like that. Anyway, so they'll zip those around on the floor sometimes. So sometimes when you go in law enforcement rooms, you'll see, weird robots doing stuff like that. And then I've seen robots that are snakes, that go up to telephone poles and things.
Oh,
Have you seen
wow.
those?
No, that'd be cool, though.
They're just they're like a bunch of wheels connected by their axles, so that now they just become like a big roller, and they twist around a pipe and they go up the pipe, so you can put them up like a gutter and stuff, and their heads are cameras. So sometimes they'll send them up a pipe or anything they can get around. They'll send them up, and you'll see, like you'll know it because you'll be walking past a monitor, and you're like, oh look, I'm on a camera, and you look around, there's no cameras, and then it's like, oh look, there's a little robot over there taking a video of you.
I just want one of the robot dogs.
Dude, I would totally get a robot dog. They're super expensive still. Actually, you can get little tiny ones, but there's no way they're as cool as the real robot dogs. But off of, what is it? Like one of the, I can't think, what's the Ali, whatever, the Chinese, Amazon. You can get a little robot dog that's not much bigger than the palm of your hand. But I assume it's not very good, right? 'Cause it's the size of the palm of your hand. And what can you, but it's like for a toy for kids or whatever. Is it Chacho or Tulsa where you get the cheesesteak? I don't know why they like the cheesesteak there, but it's Tulsa for sure.
Because it's good.
Tulsa north side, right? On the lower side, north side.
There's one north and one on the south side.
Oh, really? I thought the one on the north was different. Or I mean, I thought they were all different. I thought the one on the north is where you get the cheesesteak.
Yeah, there's a cheesesteak booth on both of them. I've never went to the one on the south, so I can't tell you if it's any good or not.
I only remember one time I looked at the stuff on the south, and it was like a chicken, a popcorn. I don't want either one of those. So.
Seems like they're pretty much right straight across from each other.
Yeah. Again, big giant building, so it takes a little while to walk from one to the other. I bet. I never even thought about walking from one to the other.
And Clover said there's also one right where you walk down the stairs where you look over. I think I do remember seeing that.
Oh, so they're all the same menus? I thought they were all a separate menu, I guess. I thought that one of them was chicken and one of them was something else.
Well, they have a bunch of them that are, but they have the separate little booths, and the cheesesteak's just a booth, basically.
Yeah, it just says Philly cheesesteak, I think, or cheesesteak. I can't remember which it says.
Is that like a Tulsa thing that is that different things throughout the year, or is it thing that lives in that building?
No, I think it'll be in there all the time, even during the fair and everything.
So it's like a dirt bike track, and it's that you can get those cheesesteaks.
I think there's a food vendor company that pretty much has a contract with them. They're probably part of that vendor company.
Well, see, years back when Quick Trip had the naming rights for that building for a while, and I always hoped they put in like a Quick Trip thing in there where you could get Quick Trip food, not their food, but no, they didn't. But they did do free samples one year at the fair. Quick Trip did it there. All their food.
You guys have any food plans for the show yet?
You mean after at night or during
just being in Vegas and stuff? Don't you guys have things that you guys do?
We have our obligatory pizza. Yeah.
Usually the night we get there on Saturday night, we go get pizza, and then the night before we leave, we usually get pizza.
Pizza, so like Saturday, so you have a day or something, or like?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I want to eat pizza. At least for me, I'm too old already. That would be too spicy, I think, for me right before the show.
Most of the time, there's at least one Red Lobster night.
I've been doing that with Yankee or whatever, but
it depends on what else is going on. I think a lot of it's kind of day to day, but we usually plan 3 or 4 things in there.
This is one of the downstairs rooms, I guess. A lot of foreign people at this one.
Those people would not have anything but a cell phone in their hand and be running you over to take pictures so they can steal the copyrights and stuff.
Once again, they hand out assault rifles to everyone at SHOT Show, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, I got a tactical guy with his gear on, and then a lot.
You never know when you need your nods in SHOT Show.
Well, there's a lot. There's about 50-50 ratio of people from the Middle East wearing their full 1970s garb. My dog will be taking a lot of video from a helicopter.
Oh, is he doing helicopter tours? I'd like to take a helicopter tour of the Grand Canyon on there if he wants to take me on one.
I figure if I'm going to drag that dog all the way to Vegas, he better make some money doing something. So he's going to be... he's driving. I'm not driving. Mellow co-drive. He's selling patches right now. That's why he's doing. That's why he's so tired. I guess I'm out of
he's earning his keep. He's way better than Mello. He earns his keep around there.
Oh, here's another cowboy one.
Yeah, she makes bacon bit work. That's part of the co-host duties.
Is this like the Taylors and Company booth or the Cimarron booth? Which booth is this? I've never seen a horse in there.
Yeah, there's dozens and dozens of horses. No one's riding them. They're just in there. And then I tried. It can't do words. It can do all this stuff great. Kind of. There's I said girl dog, and it made this. So it's creepy.
Kind of.
But I've been liking the patches that it comes up with. So I might make him actually sew some of those patches. This is different pictures from his helicopter pilot class that he took. And
is that a 9mm on his back?
No. This is Brooke Cheney said something about little tiny dogs getting stolen by hawks. So he went to some nunchuck classes to learn about them, to protect himself.
Get those patches.
I don't know how many legs he's got going on there, but extra leg don't cost nothing.
No. Stability.
It costs something to have one removed, I can assure you.
That's what I've heard.
I don't know what these are. But that's an actual picture. Is this in Oklahoma?
No, that looks like the thing at that's the thing at the
This
Missouri
changes
River in
color.
South Dakota is what it looks like.
South Dakota. Okay, I know that this is a real thing. This changes color and stuff. It's like a art piece, and then this is just other AI stuff. So anyway, so I did play around with the AIs today. Had some fun. They're pretty good. They're not bad anymore. They're getting better and better. It's crazy how better they're getting, or how good they're
You
getting.
should actually make you a patch that looks like that one, and if you put it on your websites, I will totally buy it.
Dude, there's a couple of these because I said make a pug sewing patches that look like Arizona or something like that, like something fairly big. But it came out with those amazing pictures right there. And yeah, a couple of those patches, I'm like, well, I'm making those patches. Like
I'm
those are,
saying the Internet Press with the pug on it. I think that one's awesome.
oh yeah, that one. Those were again trying to say, and I would play with the style or whatever. Like this, I think
Yeah,
is my favorite one.
see, I like the other. I like that one the best, the yellow one.
This one here. Yeah, that was I was trying to do it in like a comic style. Whoa. Somebody has something coming from Amazon. Somebody his business. But yeah, isn't that crazy? I said something like a press pass, and then I said something like in a photographer's EDC on the table. And it came up with all this stuff. Robots are coming to get us.
Yep.
Pretty soon we won't even go to SHOT Show. We'll just have robots go to SHOT Show for us. All right, well, as we head out, advocacy is at 15%, tied with outdoors for second place, but guns and ammo, what do you know, wins SHOT Show. Gizzard is about to go live in about 19 minutes. We'll give him a chance here to, get ready. And, say thanks, everybody, for joining us. Besides the Foul Territory, episode 1 of season 6, you got anything you want to plug or chat up before we head out here?
Well, is it too early to shout out episode 2 next week? I mean, we can do that. I released a video today on a flashlight, if everybody wants to take a look at it. So, yes, I actually do put out real videos every once in a while. So,
right on. And I'm guessing you'll probably be talking about SHOT Show a little bit tonight.
That's a possibility. I have been asked. Somebody sent me a text and asked if the show was going to be all about SHOT Show. I said, I don't know about that, but I'm sure we'll talk about it. It's kind of
We've got
unavoidable.
options tonight. There's definitely some fairly interesting news happening. So
yeah, there is. And I'm sure we'll talk about that too.
I'm sure most of the people listening to this know about it, but I am over on the X, the Twitter, as the old people would say. And in case somebody found this on YouTube doesn't know about Gizzard, again, I'll throw this over here. Gizzard's his show. It starts in about 20 minutes at the top of the hour here. And it's been doing that for quite a bit. This is season 6. Thanks for hosting that.
You bet.
Bringing people together. And one thing I was going to ask you, since we're in here and we got a second, and I noticed that your thumbnail, I guess, for the show is in the shape of Kansas, one of the decent shaped states that doesn't have a crazy panhandle hanging off of it.
Wow.
And I'm just saying, and he has a discreet and respectable shaped state, like a regular state, and like a decent state should be shaped. But
very good to bite out of.
It just made me. Well, yeah, there's piece missing off the side, but we can't help rivers. Rivers get us all. Anyway, so I was going to say there's what's it called? The district attorney of meeting or something at SHOT, and the Kansas district attorney is going to be there.
Oh yes, Chris Kobach. I saw that.
Are you set on your radar, and are you planning on doing that?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I've actually met Chris at a 2A rally 5 years ago up there in Topeka. So
that's what I kind of figured, is that it might be of interest. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that since we were still out here. Then stop. I don't have anything to throw up here from your thing, do I? But do you got anything coming up? Anything you want to plug?
No. I guess it's too late for me to try to tell Gizzard I won't be on his show tonight because I've got other plans. So I guess I'll just plug Gizzard's show because I guess I'll be there.
Okay, good.
well, everybody's got a chance to take their puppies out and do their business, or go grab yourself a piping hot cup of coffee or an iced cold beverage, whichever your whatever direction your proclivity takes you. Weston asked, do you have any AI patch ideas that you're going to do? Right now, I'm getting to the point where I can think about sewing again, but I'm definitely going to be sewing in 2024 quite a bit. I have a second machine now. So as soon as I can get back in there to be sewing, I'll see. I have a bunch of things that I just need to do, I want to do, but I have played with AI patch ideas, I guess. I don't know what to call it. Like explored what the creativity of AI, I guess. Like tell it to come up with patch ideas and see what it came up with. Before they used to be really nightmare looking weird stuff. So doing it in the past would spur an idea. Like it would push two things together, but the result was often gross or didn't work. But now the results, you saw, the results look better and better all the time. And you can start to what's the word? Like you can modify it now. So anyway, long story short is, at some point, but probably mid-year, like, SHOT Shows happen and some other stuff's got to happen. And then I should have time to work on that stuff again. That being said, thanks everybody for joining us for this kind of special edition of the Daily Gun Show. And we'll be back later on this evening, midnight Eastern, to talk about what happened this week, focus on Second Amendment. But until then, I highly recommend checking out Gizzard's show. I'm going to throw a quick commercial up here for our gear website store. It is Free Patch Friday. I probably don't mention that enough in my own shows, but thanks, Gizzard. You're one of the people that keeps the awareness of that project out there. Anytime you buy a patch on Friday, you get a free stuff. In fact, a bunch of free stuff, because I'm about to get a whole bunch more patches, and I didn't even get rid of all of last year's SHOT Show patches. So here's a quick commercial, then go over to Gizzard's show.
Captain, a vessel approaching.
On screen.
We're being hailed.
Every weekend over at gearwebsites.com, our online store, we have Free Patch Friday. And that means that every order placed on our store on Fridays is going to include at least one free patch. So that's every order with no coupons, no minimum order, no codes needed. You place the order on Friday, and when it arrives to you, it's going to have at least one free patch. Your support means a lot to us, and financial support is critical. So thanks again to the people who keep us online through purchases at gearwebsites.com.